watch the Thunder game here with us tonight, you no doubt were treated to an onslaught of political ads trying to sway your vote in Oklahoma's primary elections. Now just a few weeks away.
They have been coming fast and furious, and many of them are run by what's known as dark money groups. The law allows the people funding them to stay anonymous. Critics argue it's a loophole allowing wealthy people to buy elections.
And tonight, a News 4 investigation. Spencer Humphrey got a rare chance to sit down with two people behind these mysterious groups and press them for transparency.
Manufactured career politicians.
After a while,
The woke trans agenda.
it gets
Boys competing in girls' sports is
tiring.
Liberals tried
To turn on your TV
He'll work with President Trump.
illegals out of our state.
and get audibly assaulted
Governor Drummond's not well.
by ads,
Suffered from
John
TDA.
Echols is from the swamp.
making all sorts of claims.
Locker room.
He's the ultimate insider.
allow transgender surgeries for
So
children.
who's responsible?
Mutilating our kids with harmful.
Who is funding this onslaught? The answer gets complicated. Generally, there are three different types of groups behind political ads: a candidate's campaign, a political action committee or PAC, or nonprofits known as dark money groups. Former Assistant State Attorney General Tim Gilpin says law places limits on how much candidates' campaigns and PACs can raise and also requires they do something else.
Each candidate has to release their donor list. You can look it up. PACs, political action committees, have to release their donor list. So you can look that up.
But when it comes to dark money nonprofits,
You do not have to release your donor list.
they also don't face any fundraising limits. And thanks to the U.S. Supreme Court Citizens United decision,
Corporations and entities can then use their treasury funds to donate to that nonprofit organization, and they're not limited.
then those dark money groups can take that money and run ads.
They can basically say what they want to say as many times as they want to say it.
Ads like this one.
Only make things worse. 832 will cause inflation.
It's from a dark money group called People for Opportunity, urging people to vote no on the minimum wage increase question on ballots next month.
Vote no on.
Dave Bond is behind People for Opportunity. We introduced you to him in 2024 when his group ran these ads urging people to oust 3 state Supreme Court justices they deemed liberal. Now they've put all their energy toward making sure Oklahoma's minimum wage stays where it is.
Where do you get the money from? How do you afford to buy all these ad times?
There are folks all over the state of Oklahoma who want to make sure that both sides are presented.
Who are those folks?
It's folks all over the state.
Are there folks from out of state too?
I don't think so. These are Oklahomans wanting to make sure that their fellow Oklahomans have had the chance to think this through.
Who are some of your biggest donors?
What?
Who are some of your biggest donors who fund these things?
We're a nonprofit. We've got folks from all over the state who want to participate in this with us.
Who are some of these people?
What are you looking for?
Who is funding you?
Oklahomans who want to make sure that whether it's on this issue or other issues that we work on too, we've done.
It was hard to get a clear answer.
Do you have a donor list? And would you be willing to show the public who is on it?
The U.S. Supreme Court has been pretty clear about donor privacy.
Bond says he and his donors often receive threats, and keeping his donors private is quite literally a matter of life and death. Gilpin thinks it could be something different.
Well, I think donor safety is code word for we don't want to take the blame. There are various industries and corporations that are successful and individuals who are very successful who would not want to have to pay more money for their hourly employees. But they also don't want the potential shaming for being against that issue.
Do you know how many donors you have?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I've been pretty deep on the
Like, is it single digits, double
32
digits,
stuff lately.
triple digits?
I've been pretty focused on this.
Is it just one main person or group or company?
I'm not going to get into the
Sorry, ask me that again.
Are people wrong to assume that your donors are wealthy people who do not want to see the wage increased, so they do not have to pay their employees more.
So wages in Oklahoma are already growing at a really strong pace.
Yeah, but are people wrong to make assumptions like that?
To make assumptions like what? I'm sorry.
You kept going in circles.
So you just are not interested in revealing who funds you.
I think we take donor privacy very, very seriously. I think
Bond wasn't the only dark money group leader we talked to.
I thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you.
We introduced you to Jared Breha earlier this month when his Make Oklahoma Great Again PAC ran this AI-generated ad attacking a candidate in the governor's race. He argued his PAC is very transparent.
We chose to be an Oklahoma-based organization because we believe in that. We believe in that disclosure.
But Ethics Commission records show his PAC only has one single donor funding it, a dark money group called Oklahoma Leadership Advocacy Group. And wouldn't you know it?
I'm the executive director of Oklahoma Leadership Advocacy Group.
Breha runs that group too. And unlike his Oklahoma-based PAC running the ad, his dark money group funding it is not based here.
It was registered in Delaware.
Why Delaware?
It's just their favorable laws to create organizations.
What's so favorable about their laws?
That was legal opinion, legal advice that we got whenever we formed. So I couldn't tell you.
We asked him the same thing we asked Bond.
Yeah, I know you don't legally have to disclose the donors, but why don't you voluntarily do it anyway?
Yeah, it would set a bad precedent. This is one of the best examples that you can use. In the late 1950s in Alabama, the NAACP was actually under fire from the government. And the government at that time, led by the Attorney General in Alabama, they wanted to know, hey, NAACP, who supports you?
So you'd equate your group and the impact it has and the work it's doing to that the NAACP did in the 1950s in Alabama? Is that what I'm hearing?
You're hearing that, I mean, they aren't necessarily the same missions and reasons, but what you're hearing is it's equally important that all groups of this nature are able to conduct our business the way that we do.
But just like Bond, Breha sticking to his guns.
I'm not going to disclose the donors to that organization.
I have to be honest, I think when our audience hears answers like that, our audience feels like what they're hearing is an excuse to be able to raise money from anyone and not have to disclose it and kind of be able to influence elections without people knowing who's doing it. And I wonder what you say to that.
I found us to be very open, and I've been always willing to engage.
If people feel like you're hiding your donors for some sort of nefarious reason, why not be open with them and tell them, no, here are our donors?
Well, they don't have to agree with the premise of what we support and what we do. I mean, that is obviously open. That's the marketplace of ideas.
In Oklahoma City, Spencer Humphrey, Oklahoma's News 4.
Eye-opening there, Spencer. Thanks. Primary election day, by the way, is June 16th. If you haven't registered to vote in the primary, you have already missed that deadline.
However, you still have time to register to vote in November's general election. That deadline is October 9th.